Hello there everybody, and a very warm welcome to today's video. Today we are on the ground at London's Gatwick Airport in this Thomas Cook Airlines Airbus A321 for this evening's service down to Lanzarote in the Canary Islands. So a little bit of flight information for you all to start off with. It's an Airbus A321 today, Sharklets TCDH is the registration, Golf Tango Charlie Delta Hotel. Obviously it's about a 3-hour 45-minute service today, pushing up towards 4 hours down to the Canary Island of Lanzarote. Currently on the ground here at Gatwick Airport, and we are obviously just getting ready to go. The catering service has just began, and we should, like I say, should be underway. And I'm hoping for around 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Got the boarding to start off very shortly, and then we'll go from there. So obviously 321 today, flight number is MT1002 or TCX1002, which is the flight number, with the call sign today of TCX53T Tango Victor. So it's Kestrel 53 Tango Victor. A little bit of routine information regarding today's flight. It's taken us out up over Southampton, then down over the Bay of Biscay, northern tip of Portugal. Then we fly sort of parallel to the coast of Portugal, and then we leave the Faro and the Algarve behind for a final stretch down to the Canary Island of Lanzarote. The weather down in Lanzarote so far today, it's not looking too great regarding the winds. It's been varying between 20 knots and 30 knot winds. So that's something we'll have to look into going into Lanzarote this afternoon or / this evening. Ground temperature at the minute is 25 degrees. So taking all that into account, we can now get to the flight deck and we can now start setting up for today's flight. So right hand seat flying today. We are not on VATSIM, so it doesn't really matter regarding the comms, but we can squawk 2000. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to head down to the left hand side MCDU to start programming for today's flight. There we go. Okay, so flight plan today, performance init reference, got there in the end. So from Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Golf Charlie Romeo Romeo. Golf Kilo Kilo to GCRR, that should go in now. Brilliant. Flight number today is TCX53 Tango Victor. Cost index today is 12 with a cruising altitude. What is today's cruise? They've given us, it's going to be odd, and they've given us 370 is today's cruise, and the alternate is Tenerife. That's fine, okay, so that's good. We can go to the block fuel, the amount of fuel required for today's flight and passengers. We can put this in now. Fully loaded today of 220 passengers on board, and the cargo is 7.85. The fuel on board for today's flight, trip fuel, takeoff fuel is 13.3. That's fine, and we can now request refueling. And then when that turns up, we can start the refueling process. So this 13.3 is the block fuel today. Flight plan departing out of Gatwick today, it's going to be 26 left by the looks of it. Yeah, 26 left today, and it's going to be a Southampton 1 X-ray departure. That's good. Southampton, let me just double check the routing. Yeah, that is the routing we wanted, that's fine. Okay, so the routing taking us down to Lanzarote is as follows. Southampton to November 621 to Beville, so Beville, then UN 621 to Marac, UN 621 to Marac. From Marac, UM1905 to Lorku, UN866 to QPR. We can start refueling now. U1866 to QPR. Upper mic 30 to Lottie. And then it's direct to Abupi. From Lottie direct to Abupi. Takav. Then direct to Takav. Then direct to Vadod. Then UN857 to Turto. That should be the end of the routing with a Turto 6 Papa scheduled, but that is subject to change on the arrival information, etc, etc. Okay, so performance in it today. Taken off flap 2 with a trim up of 1. No, trim up of 0.8 apparently. We can't change that for some reason. Flex 1057 today, V1-133, rotate 135, V2-138 out of Gatwick. It's just a standard departure, Southampton 1 X-ray, and that's all okay, to be completely honest. So, the refueling's just taking place. There's not really much else we can do on the flight deck here to get us ready for today's flight. All the MCDU's completed, and that's ready to, we're all ready to go really. Overhead panel can just stay as it is for the time being. And then after the refueling is done, we will request boarding, and then we will go from there. Hope it's currently 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to push for a 5:20 departure, and that's what we're going to hopefully aim for. If that isn't the case, then we will be looking at a delay and then potentially a slot on the ground here at Gatwick. So we shall see you very shortly. Okay then, so you rejoin us as we are ready to, or literally just about ready to push and start. The boarding has been completed, the tray table is just getting stowed away. All the outsides, ground power and traffic cones, everything's been disconnected. Just wait for the main aircraft door to close, which should just do that now, and then we'll lose the jetway, which should start losing very shortly, and we will can request to push and start. So there'll be a nose right, a tail left departure today, and there goes the jetway. Okay, so we're losing the jetway, that's gone, that's disconnected off the aircraft now. Fuel pumps can come on, and the beacon light can also come on as well. So there come the fuel pumps, and there goes the beacon. Okay, so everything else seems to be okay now. We're running off the APU, which is obviously is fine. Now he'll tell us to release the parking brakes. On the release the parking brakes, we'll ignition start, and then we can go from there. Okay, just waiting for it. There we go. Here we go then. Pushing us back. Okay, so we'll start number 2. Quite a nice haze over there. It's quite good. Quite nice. Yes, number 2 started up. Stand by for number 1. Okay. Start number 1. There we go. should be the parking brakes very shortly. There we go. Okay, so wait for number 1 to stabilise, and then we can do what needs to be done. Oh, and in fact we can actually have the terrain on the display now, so we'll run off that as well. Okay, so I reckon it's around about stabilised now. So, ignition start back to norm. It's fine. Okay, so takeoff flap today is flap 2. We'll set that now. Flight controls check, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full up, full down, left and right, that's cool. Flap 2 set, which is fine. I'll leave the APU on just for the time being. Okay, taxi light can come on and we'll lose APU bleed and the APU. Quick speed brake check. They're all up and working nicely. Have a good trip. There we go. Release the parking brake, start the taxi. That's fine. Okay then, we can do the cam now. So arm spoilers, TO config done, max on the auto brake, that's done, no blue. And T-gas can come on now, even though there's no aircraft on the ground and that really isn't realistic, but you know, we are able to do it. Down November we go. Okay then, here we go. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Seats for departure, please. Seats for departure, thank you. Turn-offs on, they go up, that's fine. On come the strobes. And on come the retractables. Perfectos. Clear on the approach. Okay, here we go. Around about 40%. There's about 50. Let's get nice and let's pull that back a sec actually, 1 second. Okay, so we're ready to go. There's about 50%. Stable. thrust set, man, flex, and SRS. Speed is alive. $80 knots. Checked. V1 rotates. Aim for about 15 degrees on the pitch. There we go. That's the positive rate. Gear up. Okay, down we've come now. 1,000 feet. Stand by for 1,000 feet. The gear is up and no lights. There's 1,000 feet. Autopilot 1 on 6,000 on the altitude. Right clicked. Stand by for climb thrust. It should tell us in just a second on the PFD. Let's go back to climb thrust. At the required altitude, obviously. There we go. Climb thrust. Back we go. Now we simply wait. Okay, flap 1. Okay, climb flight level 110, right clicked, flaps up. Steep climb out there. There it is. So there we have it. There's our departure out of Gatwick. All has been very nice so far. And forgot to start the chrono, so I'm going to write down on this bit of paper chrono +3, so +3 minutes on the chrono, or we could just run off that, that's completely okay. Anyway, there we have it. Not really much else for myself to say, unless we have to come back. We'll probably have some nice sunsets, so I'll probably end up returning for the sunsets. But apart from that, guys, we shall speak to you probably a bit later on the cruise, or just on our approach into Lanzarote, so we'll speak to you a little bit later. It's going to be quite a late night, I believe, but we should be okay. We've gone out actually 10 minutes after schedule, so, well, about 5 minutes after schedule, but that isn't too bad. So we'll speak to you a little bit later on. So then, welcome back to this evening's approach and landing into Lanzarote. Now, a little bit of information for you all. Just starting our descent down very shortly to flight level 60. Now, it's ILS 03 into Lanzarote this evening. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get to Alidu and we're going to disengage the autopilot and we're going to fly it manually. A few things we were taking into consideration is the approach phase. That's been completed and fueled out. Okay, local QNH at the minute. I will just double check 1021. 1021's local QNH, ground temperature is 22 degrees. Winds are gusting at the minute. We're at 17, they're still at 17. 040 at 17 knots, minimum 389 today. And that's okay. I'll be operating a flat 4 approach today, which means I find that approach speed around about 155 knots. Maybe 148, sorry. Depending on what the system wants to give us. Might give ourselves a little bit of leeway, just to allow us that cross wind component, sorry. So just passing about level 110. The signal signs are on, they've gone on. We're going to tell the cabin crew it's about 15 minutes to landing, so we'll do that right now. Cabin crew, thank you very much. About 15 minutes to landing. So that's done. Speed brakes are out. We're now decelling down because we're about to go through for level 100. So speeds will come back now to 250 knots. So the speed brakes are out to help that happen. Now, obviously, we could follow this whole approach in. but that's mainly for like the mid or the main summer season to get separation and to allow a little bit of time between the approaches. But there's nothing around us. Obviously today we're flying offline. We can lose the speed brakes now. They're flying offline, so that's not really much to worry about really. So we'll just disengage the autopilot shortly, and we're going to do a fully manual approach. We might lose the auto throttle, we might control the throttle ourselves, but I haven't actually considered that yet. Very dark at the minute, a lovely sunset we did have on the way down, and now there's not really much that we can see. 3 hours 45 is the scheduled flying time. So far we've got half an hour, so we could be coming in about 15 minutes I reckon before schedule. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So we're all okay at the minute. We're going to continue as we are. The drone is just out to our right hand side. A few scattered clouds in the vicinity at the minute. The few scattered, they are visibility is 10 statute miles. Few clouds, 2,500 feet. That's okay. Take that into consideration. We go through about 2,500 or 3,000 feet. Could get a little bumpy. But aside from that, we're all okay at the minute. We'll flick that ILS button on now, so the ILS comes on the PFD. And that's all okay really. Not really much else to say really. There's everything's sort of set up and ready to go. There's the island out to the right hand side. Can roughly make that out. That's the immersion pack. Okay, so we're going down to 5,000 feet now, so we're going to just go manual on the speed as well. No, so we'll have control of the speed, sorry, 240 we're going to go for on the speed, down to 5,000 feet. So we're now going to change to local QNH 1021, we'll do that now. It's passing 80. Here we're starting that turn, so we'll go maintain heading 210. And we'll have the autopilot out in just a second. Supposed to pass for level 65. Just considering about speed at the minute, we'll go back to 235 knots. And I have control. Leave ILS and flight director on just for the minute, we'll probably lose them in just a second. We'll start a right hand turn now, heading around about 235 degrees. And we'll lose the flight director. No, actually we'll keep flight director on. Down to 4,000 now. Very gradually we'll do that. Obviously manual descent now, so I have control of the aircraft. And we'll go speed back out to 220 knots. Okay, spin that's heading around a little bit further now, around about 265. start to see Lanzarote out to the right hand side of the lights, but we haven't actually seen any lights yet, so maintain as we are. Okay, so we're now going to lose the flight director, lose ILS. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Seats for landing, please. Get the crew sitting down a little bit earlier. Okay, smack that heading in. 215 now, 3,000 feet. Not that that's really an issue. But down we come. We'll continue a further descent down now. Okay, on the spoilers. So check flap 1. It's quite cloudy actually, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit more cloudy than I expected. Speed now back 200 knots. Right, down to 2,000 feet we go. Speed 180 knots. Oh no, we'll go flap 2, speed 180 knots, and then we'll do flap 2, sorry. Flap 2, might get the red tape down a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Speed check flap 2. The speed for flap 2 is actually 193 knots. Okay, we'll bring it all the way back now to 160 though. We need to start bringing that speed all the way back. Can we see the drone yet? Looks like there's lights out to the right hand side there. That could be the potential at runway. I'm hoping so anyway. Flap 3. Start a bit of a further descent. Quite a steep right hand turn here. And we'll start to bring the nose up a little bit to level off. We're about 5 miles out now, it's the 5 mile ring. And there's the runway. Gear down. Speed back, flap 4. And there's the auto throttle. I have control now of the speed. Okay, bring that nose up a little bit now. 1,000 feet. A little bit low. No puppy lights in this drone for some reason. I don't know if that's just a light bug. Ignore the speed call. That's fine. Ignore the speed. Ignore the speed call. Okay, everything looks like okay, a little bit windy. That's bang on the nose, so if anything we need to try and increase that speed a little bit more. That's just going to aid our stop on the runway.
500.
About 2 miles out now. Or 2 nautical mile radial ring from the airport. Or 2 DME.
100 above, 400. Minimum 300.
Bring that speed back.
200.
Might be coming in a little bit fast. Remember there's 17 knots bang on the nose. So that's what I've got to take into
100.
consideration.
70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, retard.
We're down. And that's first green. Decel. And stand by for 80 knots. Cancel reverse. Cancel the brakes. Cancel the T-gas. And there goes cancel reverse. Vacate left here. You can really sort of see how that 17 knot wind, 30 degree, I don't know where it's coming from there, 17 knot wind really does give us a helping hand. It's very dark. No taxiway lights for some reason. I don't know what the situation there is. I really don't. Turn offs off. Strobes off. APU can come on. Now, I also know there is an issue with GSX here, and that it only gives us, it doesn't actually give us parking stands, etc. GSX says that every gate is a parking stand, which is a little bit confusing. I don't know how that works, but we'll just go for parking 7, and we'll just go nice and slowly and see where it wants parking 7, which is just over there. I'm fine with that. Passengers are getting a bus by the looks of it to the terminal building. That's all completely okay. The flaps can come up. Make a right hand turn in here. In we come. Bit of a remote stand here at Lanzarote, and we'll turn off the taxi lights, which makes it very, very dark. Unfortunately, that is the case. And we'll just roll it on. Just roll it on, roll it on, roll it on, roll it on. Bang, we'll stop there. The sparking brakes, APU bleed can come on, that's the window heat, that's the APU bleed. The bright cockpit lights can come on, and we'll lose number 2. And we'll lose number 1. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Just on the doors for arrival, please, thank you. Beacon light off, silver signs are off, fuel pumps can come off. We can request deboarding. Okay, so stop the chrono. Add the 3 minutes on. That would have been a 3 hour. Yeah, that's got here about 10 minutes before schedule. 31 or 9 minutes before schedule. Okay, reset the chrono. We've got a 45-minute turnaround. Open up the cargo doors. And open up the aircraft doors. It's brilliant. Okay, so now ground services, wheel traffic cones, wheel chocks, external power, a GPU because we're on a remote stand. Yes, I don't mind if I do, and the GPU, external power on, APU can come off. There we have it. a very warm welcome to Lanzarote, down in the Canary Islands. Lovely flight, a lovely, lovely, enjoyable flight. So, not really much else for myself to say now though. We have made it down to the Canary Islands in a nice 3-hour, 30-minute service. A little bit shorter than anticipated, but it's always nice to get down to the airport a little bit, or get the passengers here, sorry, a little bit earlier than they thought I was going to get here. Anyhow, thank you very much for joining today's video. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. Thank you ever so much, guys, for the support as well. Be sure to give it a like and a subscribe. And if you've got any video requests, be sure to let me know what they are, and hopefully I can see what I can do. Can't promise anything, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Anyhow, be sure, like I say, to like and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all, guys, in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.